So, Bach exercises, what else?
I haven't really worked on my scherzo because I've been trying to figure out the Bach and the second pages of the exercise things.
Oh, which exercise things?
Like the 37.
The agent?
Yeah, sorry.
The Kreutzer, okay.
The Kreutzer 37 and 36. Oh.
Now, did we talk about Vitali and Wieniawski Legendre?
I printed the Vitali thing out.
Okay.
And I have the Into Perpetua thing. But I mean, I have it. I sort of worked on it. It's just.
So you looked at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I mean, it's still.
Okay, so you do have the right edition for this. You don't have any of the markings though. Didn't I send you a PDF? Or did we take a picture of the part with the markings? We didn't? Okay, we need to do that today. Do you have your phone out here?
No.
Okay,
I
so yeah, we will have to. Now, what would you like to begin with?
Learn the exercises.
Okay.
Can do this.
I don't know where you are in the
lost.
music. Well, the phrase repeats, so it's the last 4 bars of, or is it 3 bars? Last 3 bars there, yes. Yeah, can you try to keep your 4th finger down on this? Yes. down in this. There's no need for you to lift the pinky, so rebalance the hand from it. Can you start from that last phrase, beginning of the line? Yes. Crescendo, crescendo, crescendo. G natural. This is the best you've played this etude. Technically, you're doing the correct things. Musically, though, it's very subdued.
I don't know. Like very not.
Do you know that? Do you know the word subdued? It's too tame. It's too careful. Too tentative in this. So now. I mean, for the technical purposes, we're starting this. You understand, you're doing things right. But let me just give you perspective. Have you heard of the Yehudi Menuhin School in London? It's a specialist school for kids your age, younger and older. It's basically pre-college boarding school. Where they have very intense music curriculum, and the best kids from England, and actually there are a lot of international students, go and study there because they have lots of musical subjects and everything. And so they have 3 terms every year, and regardless what grade in school you are, the exam requirements are the same. So the first term you do a scale and etude. The second term you do solo Bach and a short piece, and at the final term you do concerto. So those are the requirements for. And you can imagine that at whatever level you are, you should always be able to play things that require these things. So it's very interesting that first term when they do the scale and the etudes, it's basically a technical examination. So you know, pieces like this, like Kreutzer 9, you know, even the non-artist etudes, the ones that are very repetitive and basically technique builders, they make it into those exams, and the kids play them like showpieces. I mean, before Paganini came into the scene, things that people would play for encores at concerts, you know, they would be etudes. It would be like you know, really good performance of some sort of caprice or etude that people do. So it's not necessary to just sound like, oh gosh, how do I get through the notes of this, and do I really have to practice this? Because it comes across that way. So, do you remember what the leitmotif of our last lesson was? We didn't have it recorded, but we talked a lot about one thing.
Well,
not to play dead ever. Do you remember? Do you remember that we talked about that? Yeah. So you have to keep yourself accountable to that at all times, because you know, when it comes down to it, just slugging through the notes and you know, scrubbing horsehair against a string, it's not all that exciting. The thing that makes special what we do is the music we play, and you have to be able to find music in everything that you do, because actually musically this little thing is pretty interesting harmonically. We talked about the harmonic twist. What do you remember of that, about that harmonic twist? What's it called?
I remember like a line, there's like an augmented six.
Right, so you need to know that. And there are also some really interesting key relationships here. Well, key relations, not relationship is not the correct word to use in this context. So like that return to F minor that we have for the last 5 lines. It sounds really striking in the harmonic context of what we've had before that. So I mean, they're interesting things musically to look in a piece like this. And at this point, I think your ear is sophisticated enough that you can start searching on your own for this sort of things. And always ask yourself, what is the character of the piece I'm playing? So what would your answer be for this etude?
Like for the character.
Mm-hmm. Start with the broad strokes, just and then start narrowing it down. Is it happy? Is it sad? Is it serious?
It's sort of like.
Is it humorous?
I mean, it's sort of a sad mix with like.
Yeah, the minor key instantly implies that it's not happy, for sure. Now, but there's certain nobility and certain dignity with all the chords that you have to play in it, right? So now that you have crunched the technical issues in this, what can you do to make it more attractive musically when you play it?
I could add more dynamics to it.
Oh, for sure, you need more. Even within the elements, you need more contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how would the separate notes, the 16th notes, help you in building character in this? Should they sound flaccid, or should they be what?
Vibrate them.
What about the bow? Should you have more energy in them? Should they be more singing?
They should be more singing.
Absolutely. So you know, these are all things that you could ask yourself for just about everything that you play. With every bowing that you play, the question is this a singing bow or is this a rhythm bow that you do? Because you know, if you're playing something that is more dance-like, you're going to have a much more rhythmic drive in the bow. Probably things will be with shorter articulations, maybe even with lifts. If you have to sing, you have to ask yourself, am I doing the best singing I can? Yeah. All right. Now let me hear number 36. Now, what's the character of this one?
Springy, that's what I think of.
Springy, okay.
Sort of like very energetic.
For sure. Okay. hear you make those breathing noises and make those faces. You need to help yourself on this. And now, behaving like this, do you expect whoever is listening to you to take pity on you? Is that why you're doing this? Why are you doing it?
I'm mad at myself because I worked on this a lot.
Well, now, I think it's too fast. So how about you take that section at a slower tempo? It's okay to play it at a slower tempo, but not crash on every other note like this. So let's see if we can help it. Okay. So by the way, I actually liked your starting tempo better than what it became after the first few measures. Thinking back on it, do you know what happened? Yeah. Did you plan on doing that? Did you start slower than you intended, or did you just got too excited and it got too fast? Which way did it go?
I don't know. I didn't really plan on speeding up.
Sorry, did you plan on speeding up, or so which was the tempo in which you wanted to play? Was it the faster tempo or was it the slower tempo? Okay, so now this tells us that you have to find a way of not rushing. You know, everybody has the same problem. When you play in front of people, you get excited and you start playing quicker because your pulse begins to rush and you just go faster with that. So could we make a little experiment? Start at the tempo in which you want to begin, and then I want you to remember what that tempo is. And then we will start the next phrase after the half note at that tempo. And then we will skip over to the next phrase that's after the half note. But the purpose of this is going to be, can I remember my starting tempo, and can I make sure that whenever the new phrase begins, I'm not playing at a faster speed than where I began. Because this is going to be a skill that helps you get through stuff when you know that your tendency is going to be to rush.
So I played the first measure and now I skip.
Well, yeah. You play like the first couple of measures with this, and do you want to put a tempo on it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at what tempo did you practice at home? Did you practice with metronome?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, now look, considering how frequently you tend to change tempos, I think you need to use the metronome every now and then. I don't want you to practice everything with metronome. I don't want things to become mechanical, but you need to check things with the metronome. Do you know that if I don't have my metronome with me and my pencil, there's no point in me practicing? If I don't have those two things with me, I don't even bother taking the violin out of the case. So it needs to become a habit for you as well, because these are, obviously you need the pencil so you can make notes to yourself about things that you discover in your practicing that you need to keep on improving, or just the things that are the key solutions to what you're doing. And then you need the metronome so you can check the tempo, because if you take something at the wrong speed, chances of having a head collision are very high. Yeah, so let's figure out at what tempo we will practice. Yeah. So it's I would say around 68. That might be a little bit stodgier than what you want to do, but it's better to be able to play all of the notes in full control in a slightly pulled back tempo, instead of having this uncontrollable speed up and then crashing. Yeah, so can we start at that speed the first phrase? Great. Now, still keep that pulse in mind, and let's start the second phrase. Fantastic. Now, can we do the third phrase? Is it too fast?
No. How long? Oh. It goes to
Well, let's do two measures of that. Let's do two measures of that, and then we will skip somewhere halfway. Good. Don't get ahead of the metronome, so stay. Great. Now let's skip to the two measures from the bottom of the page. You have to play the downbeat. You might want to play the downbeat on that. Okay, now, so see, things are getting a little bit harder here because the patterns are not so obvious, but you're still getting ahead of the metronome. What can you do to keep with the metronome and don't get ahead of it? Maybe more bow on the forte notes, so it doesn't sound pecky. So can we try that thing one more time and stay with that pulse of the metronome? Yes, isn't that easier? Yes, great, fantastic. Now, how about we skip to the place where we crashed the previous time? So 5 lines from the end, last measure, and play the downbeat on that if you don't mind. What is the pattern here at the place where things are crashing?
Well, I was going to do it.
No, don't start there before you have analyzed what's going on, because it's the same pattern. So what is this interval? B to E. Yes, perfect fourth. Now what's the next one?
It's a major 6.
Correct. What's the next one?
It's a major 7.
Minor 7. Yeah. Next one? Tritone. Next one?
This is third. Perfect.
Right. Now, you have to be much quicker at identifying the intervals. So if you just glance on this and you see the spacing, you see one of the notes is on the line, the other is on a space. They can't be a third if they're located like that. It's a fourth. So visually, you have to just instantly recognize that. This is a fourth. Now, what about the next one?
It says...
Correct. It's sixth. What about the next one?
Minor 6.
Now, do you see that these are exactly the same? So fourth, sixth, seventh, fourth. Fourth, sixth, seventh, fourth. Now, what do we have starting from here? What is this one? It's a seventh. Yes.
That's a 7 and third. Wait, no, that's a fourth.
Yes.
That's a sixth, I think.
No, it can't be sixth because both notes are on spaces. So if one note is a D and the other one is a C, it's one note short of an octave. So what is the interval?
So
Yes. So you've got
So
this
that's a
this
D
pattern:
sharp.
7/4, 7/4, 7/4, 7th. Yeah. So you need to understand that as you're playing this, and it will make the passage easier. Now let's try without the metronome once. So begin from the downbeat here. Tritone. Fourth.
I know, I'm trying to figure out the finger.
It's already for you, right? Right. Can we do that one more time? Diminished seventh is the same as a major sixth. So you basically group the fingers on a half step around your third finger. Can we hear that one more time with a little bit greater authority on this? It's a really cool line with those 7/4, 7/4, 7/4. Yeah. Right. Now, this is C natural. So yes. So that's a major seventh. So it's a very kind of striking sonority, that major seventh. Could we do that one more time? And how about we pull much more bow on the double stops, heavier bow and vibrato on these areas. And now, Ella, you mentioned that you're one of those Menuhin students, Menuhin school students, and you have to prepare just for your exam at the end of the first term. How would you play this? Can you do it? Let's do it one more time. Still, some of the intervals are out of tune, and there's a little bit of hesitation. So look ahead, think ahead, play at the speed in which you can manage things in good evenness. That was awesome. That was really good. So, what was the tempo of that? Can we check? Let's see what we're doing here. So, it's around 52 maybe. Let's try that with the metronome. A very good start. Now, Can we go on at that speed, under tempo? If you haven't analyzed it, let's take a look at it. So what is this interval? We have F sharp in the key signature. So when you look at something that looks like this, you instantly have to know that this is a third. Do you see that how both notes are on lines?
So it's a minor third.
Yeah. It can't be anything else but some sort of a third. What about this one?
It's a third.
What kind? Very good. What about this one?
So it's a minor third.
Right. So we've got 1, 2, 3 minor thirds in a row. And then what happens after that? It's the same thing. Yeah, it's repeated, right? What happens after that?
Minor thirds.
Yeah, and do you see that it's an exact repetition of the previous bar? Yeah. Now after that, what do we have?
That's an octave, and that's a fourth.
No.
Oh, the fourth would be one more down. So
yeah.
It's
third.
That's a third.
Third.
That's a sixth.
Very good.
That's a sixth. That's a fifth. Octave. Third. Fourth. Sixth. Oh my gosh. Sixth. No, it's a sixth again.
Very good.
No, it's a sixth. Octave. Sixth. 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 Octave. Sixth. Sixth. Oh. That's just six octave. Six, six. And six. Octave. Six, six. And that keeps going.
Yeah. Do you see how easy it should be to read? So let's see if we can do that correctly with the metronome. So we will start here on this one. Let's repeat this. Let's not just gulp it all at once, but do manageable things in the same tempo one more time. And what did we say about bowing on the double stop? It needs to be longer bow and heavy on the string with vibrato.
So do I only do long bows with the metronome when it's?
Oh, you will always do the long bows because
even when I do it like up to tempo, or do I do smaller bows when I'm up to tempo?
Well, up to tempo probably everything is going to get a little bit smaller. But you
that's
still
so
have to, yes, that's your tone production feature, so you need that amount of,
Sorry.
yeah. That happened the previous time also, just to see. Yes. Now, since we've stopped, let's do this one more time. It won't kill us to read through it and feel comfortable with all of the things that we're doing. in context. So, in what position do you need to jump for this?
4.
Right. So your first finger is to. Yes. So think about the frame of the hand, the octave frame, because you will need it right away. So. Yes. So it's a little bit farther than you think. So you need to reach farther. Yes. That's where we're going now. Can we start from here? That's right. Let's stay alone on the E at the end. Yes, because we want to hear the tonic as the last thing and not the fifth of the chord. Do you understand what I'm saying? Great. Now, Ella, how many times did you play through the end of this thing? Is this the first time you walked through it?
I've looked at it before.
But how did
I
you look at it?
sort of know this part, but I didn't really know that part.
Now, look, I have the suspicion that you don't like to read music.
Not really.
So you have to make yourself do that. Because if you want to be a better player, you need to have a much better sight reading. And the sight reading comes by doing it. Now, some people are natural speed readers. Do you know anybody who is a natural speed reader? It's very rare, but some people just have that ability. So they can sit down and read 300-page book in 2 hours. Same thing is with music sight readers. There are people who just have this uncanny born ability to read music really well. For the rest of us, and I'm in the category with everybody else, we have to work at it really strong. And the way to get into that is, first of all, you have to recognize the intervals instantly when you look at them on the page. As you develop this ability, you also have to be able to hear them in your head. But sight reading has to get better. There's just no way of going around that. Because if you need me to sight read for something, so you can just repeat what I'm doing, this is very inefficient, and it's going to take you forever to learn anything if that's what we're doing. It also, takes up an awful lot of lesson time, and I can show this kind of stuff, but this is so underusing what I could be showing you instead. So I want you to just show some initiative and actually make it a point every day to sight read something for 5 minutes. So either at the very beginning of your practicing session or at the very end of it, you need to set aside 5 minutes when you sight read something. And I don't mean that it's going to be sight reading the age that I have just assigned, because presumably you will be working on that during your lesson time. But for those 5 minutes, at this point, I think you have the entire Kreutzer book printed out, don't you? So just pick a different etude every day and make yourself sight read. Put the metronome on. Don't just go kind of without guardrails on this. It doesn't have to be a fast tempo. It has to be a tempo in which you can comfortably read what you look. Even if it's like bum, 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 for an etude like this. Try to just keep going for 5 minutes without having to stop anywhere. Yeah. Another sight reading little trick is that you glance ahead of time through the page, so you can see what the difficulties might be. Did you see how easy things went once we analyzed what the intervals were? It took us what, like 30 seconds to do all of that. So you can do that before you start playing, but again, the goal is going to be that you side read to this smoothly. What are the 3 elements of music, Ella?
Rhythm, tone, pitch,
Yes.
and the edge, I think. Not the
The what?
edge. You said there's another one. That's not really one.
It's the ease of
that
playing.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. But at this point, we're talking just about the 3 basic elements. Yes. So when you sight read, you have to make sure that those 3 things are at a very high level. So do you see why starting and playing in different tempos in this etude is a problem? Because the rhythm suffers when we do that. And if you take everything just a notch slower, so you can match it to the part that is not so familiar, you will be fine. Now, did you notice how many notches slower we needed to go here in the part? How many?
Like,
So we were going at 68 before
now
that,
we're at
and
52.
52, so that's 16 notches
That's 12.
difference. Yeah,
Oh.
and now these are like,
16, sorry.
and these are like how many lines? 4.5 lines worth of, you having to look through that. Now, I can tell you that after you've done the analysis work, after you've heard what it sounds like, it probably will take you 10 minutes of practicing to speed this up to the rest of the etude. And that way you can do you can check it with the metronome to see if you can play the whole thing at 68. So how about you organize your practicing on this etude for next time? I really think that in a single practice session you will be able to finish this etude and be able to play it at 68. But you will have a whole week of practicing. Actually, when do I see you next time?
My mom said like 2 weeks because she's gonna be gone for a week.
Okay. I'm just yes, and right. I don't see you next week. Oh, it's 3 weeks before I see you. Because I don't have you penciled in for next weekend, and I can't do the 15th because we have string camp. So it's going to be the 22nd of July next time I see you.
Okay.
So now it means that by then you should be just flying through this etude.
Yeah.
So I want to challenge you to see how much you can speed up the whole thing. You know how to do that with your metronome. How many notches at a time do you usually speed up?
Usually 1 or 2. Not really.
Yes, right. So you can do sections every day that you speed up, and very soon it's going to be at the point where you can play through the whole thing with your metronome, and so you can speed up the whole thing afterwards.
So when I sight read, do I do the same exercise usually and finish the whole thing, or do I just do parts of?
Well, you need to start with shorter excerpts, because if you're going at 52, it's going to take you a long time to play through the whole thing. You won't be able to focus mentally on such an enormous amount of music.
Right.
So, but after you've done some speeding up on all of the sections of it, you should be able to stitch it together, and the moment you're able to play at 68 through the whole etude, then you should try playing it at 70, 72, 74, 76, and so on, and see how fast you can go on it,
Okay.
and play with without crashing anywhere. Now, if you notice that there are crash signs that are persistent and consistent, you isolate them and you work them out with your metronome until you understand what's going on, and you don't crash on them anymore. All right? So let's finish this by next time. Now I also want you to get started on Paganini Moto Perpetuo. Did you start?
I sort of read a little bit of it for like the Détaché stuff.
Yeah.
You mentioned that. I sort of know.
Now you know that once we speed it up to tempo, it's going to go. Yes. So what's going to be the bow stroke?
Staccato or sautier?
Sautier. It's going to be sautier because it's too fast for spiccato. At that point, that piece goes really fast. Yeah. Okay. So now, can I hear your Bach?
This is too fast.
Not only that, but your tone.
It's kind of like
it's with a cold. It sounds like somebody who has a cold trying to sing. So can you clean up the sound? So yes, everything in this piece has to ring, including when you're playing piano. So how can you improve your sound in piano? Should we be playing with just mousy amounts of bows? Yeah, and is that your 3/4 bow? Because
Yeah.
again, you sure? Because it looks very short again. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I checked it with my other, like, 1 3/4 bow. That's the tiny bow.
Now, why do you keep it in this case? Can't you put it somewhere else so you're not even tempted to use that ever? Yeah. Okay, please. Yeah. So now, one thing that you can do is reduce the amount of hair that you're playing. So you still have to play with more bow. So I would say probably around that amount of length on the bow strokes. But with much lighter bow, the sound point is already good what you're doing, but you need more velocity and less hair
In the
for
middle
that.
of the bow?
You can go to a lighter part of the bow. Now, so you can allow the bow to go a little bit closer to the tip on that. So how about we start? Let's take it from where it gets out of the barrelage here. Do you have that much memorized? Okay. Now, by the way, did you get this music ordered? The Bach Bärenreiter edition. Do you remember? Have we talked about that?
No.
Okay. Now you need to start acquiring a library. Now, things that you will probably play just as a kid and you will never come back to, use IMSLP, use photocopies, whatever. The Bach book is something that you will play for the rest of your life. As long as you play the violin, you will need to have that. So you want to get a good edition for it, which is the Bärenreiter edition for the Bach. Do you want me to write that down? So, Bärenreiter. and you could actually transfer the fingerings and everything in there, so you can start using the actual music for it. Okay, so we're starting here on this. So tilt the bow a little bit more and go with the much more transparent sound. So it has to be again singing sound, always singing. And in this piece, what word did we use for the quality of the tone that we want? Starts with an R. Ring. So. And do you see how with each sequence I move the bow closer and closer to the bridge, and then when it comes down with that bigger arpeggio, I go back to piano so I can start my next climb up with the dynamics. So let's find the sound and ring on every note. Yes, and especially on ya, pa, 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 on at the top of that. So at least 3 notes. Bring out 3 notes with nice full sound and with a nice broad détaché. And so it's not going to be if you do if you do that, it sounds awful out there because it brings this really unattractive false accent to this. So you need the beat, you need the D to serve as a springboard note to take you to the B, but then you play the 3 top notes with nice broad singing deep into the string bow. So yes, and with some vibrato on them. Yes. No cold here. It sounds like your violin is about to sneeze. That's what it sounds like when the sound has those blank spots on it. So it needs to ring. The string has to be really fuzzy and yeah, it has to purr under the bow. Yes, that's the idea. Now, can we do that one more time from the E? Let's fix that because it happened. It speeds up, but you're also adding 1 extra beat. So it's right here. It's at the top. You're doing 3 of these, and it's only 2.
Oh. On only this one or on the other one too?
No, you're fine on the other one. You're just adding an extra beat here, so. Oh, that's also an extra one that you're adding. Yes. And now, Ella, let's listen again to this because I think you're trying to do note grouping, but it sounds unnatural because I hear a false accent from that. I hear what exactly are you doing? So let's think it on the beat more this time. Otherwise, it's just not attractive sounding. So. So bring these notes out. But why are you doing this? Downbeat. Okay, okay, but so you're underplaying. Look, you're underplaying the most important thing. You're underplaying the springboards, the ones that. No, I'm not asking you to play mechanical like that, but. So bring out the downbeats. Yes. Now here though, you have to crescendo more into the downbeat, and then this is the flower that blooms at the top. Yes. But again, I hear if the accentuation in what you're playing, if the accents go on the wrong syllable, it becomes gibberish. It becomes musical gibberish, and we should never produce musical gibberish. Okay, so if you go, it sounds like a siren. That what is that noise that we hear there? So yes, and now it's too fast, right? Okay, so let's do all of this in slow motion. So still same phrasing, same inflection, just in slow motion. Longer lines through this. Were you basically trying to emphasize all of the downbeats in this? Is that what was happening? Yeah. Now, but musically that doesn't always sound right. Now, in the place that we talked about, because the sequence has its rising lines on those, it makes sense to do that. But after we're finished with that sequence, we have this expanded, this extension, phrasing extension, and you need to go for a much longer phrase going through that. So could we start from here and don't speed up? So just let's play nice, long, beautiful phrase on it. We don't need to be exaggerating those things that much. Now, this thing, this here, harmonically speaking, belongs to this part, because do you see that the notes in this arpeggio are the same as the one in the second and the third beat? Now, what is the arpeggio here in the first measure? Can you quickly arrange the notes in such a way that they're in thirds? Because that's what a chord should be. Can you, in these four notes, do you see how they could be arranged in thirds? Which note would be in the bass? So we've got F, A, C, right? So that's F sharp, A, C sharp. What kind of triad is that?
I don't really know. I guess it's, I don't know.
What's the chord? You know, chord and triad, they mean the same thing. Chord is a little bit broader than a triad. Triad is a very specific. Triad means it has three notes in it that are arrangeable by thirds, which is also definition of chord. But a chord can have 4 notes that are arrangeable by thirds, 5 notes, 6 notes, 3 is the minimum. So triad is just a specific type of chord. So what kind of chord is F sharp, A, C sharp? Listen to it, tell me, what is it? Yeah, it is F sharp minor triad, right? Right. Now, what do we have here? What is the next chord? C sharp, E, G sharp. What's that?
It's a minor.
It's another minor triad, right? So, in other words, we've got two different harmonies going on in these. And this one is a resolution of what's going on here. So, can you play this one, and can you hear this one as being the resolution? Do you understand now how the music works? So as you play these long lines, you have to, on one hand, be aware of what the sequence is, because the majority of this music is sequences. And then you have to be also aware when the chords change, because that is going to inform how you play the line. If you don't take those things into account and you just play it, it will sound like Kreutzer 2. Which is musically not interesting. Nobody really wants to listen to it. But it's a very good age for the things we need to practice it. Now, can we start in the C sharp in this case? So that's the second big sequence that we have, right? Let's keep analyzing what's going on, just so we can derive much greater pleasure from playing this. What chord do we have here? And you might have to drop a note or two out of it, because there are too many notes to form a chord in this. But the ones that are arrangeable in thirds are what? C sharp, C sharp, G sharp,
So it's
right?
major.
Yes, C
So it
sharp
goes from
major,
major to minor.
right. So major, and then the resolution is here to minor. Now, where exactly do we have that change of air that happens?
Right.
Yeah, when we get into the F sharp minor thing. So this little extension that we were talking about, it's actually his way of getting into those minor waters there. So can you play with just a little bit more understanding and more enjoyment? Yes. And do you see how things instantly sort themselves out once you understand how the music works? You don't really need me to say, oh, you're playing false accents, and oh, this needs more crescendo, and this needs more diminuendo. If you listen to music with ears that are tuned to what is the harmony, how that harmony relates to the next harmony or to the previous harmony, you will instantly know the musical solutions to what you're playing. And this business that I was talking earlier in the lesson about always playing with expression, never dead music. As long as you listen with that understanding, even if you try to play dead, you won't be able to play dead. So, do you want to do this entire passage now with your ears really good to what is happening harmonically? Do you remember the right number of repetitions
It's
now?
2.
Yeah, okay, good. Ella, I need to stop you now.
It's fast.
It is fast, but also you're again doing this strange siren things right here. I'm not hearing the sequence because you're underplaying the yes. Now I don't mean that you have waka da da da, but do 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 do. So yes, this is your starting note. These are on the second beat in every bar, right? So we have a little bit of a bar displacement here because it sounds like the important beat is the second beat. That's the one with the slurs on it. Now, do you see how the sequence works? So
it's not
don't worry about this. Can you start on this? Because in a sense, once we go here, because of the hemiola, because of this phrasing extension that we have, the bar line is displaced. So this becomes the downbeat. So really, not faster. Starting from here, we recover the beat on the downbeat. Now, do you have enough rolls on your bow? Because again, your bow sounds like it has a cold. Oh, is that what it is? Can you add, please, more pressure? Because I don't understand. You're playing on such good instruments, and the sound is not good. So. And here we have this line that needs to come out. I'm hearing tara tara, not tara tara, tara tara. Thank you. Tara tara tara. Bring the bass hit. I don't mean that you have to underplay so much the top voice, but just we need it needs to come out. But again, more vibrato, and you need the starting note. You cannot underplay the starting note in this music. It's too fast. It's too fast. Right. Too fast. How did that happen? So, because you skipped the slip. It's too fast. I don't want it to crash. Piano, echo. Don't speed up. No, it's backwards. So and these are Bach's original. So this has to be forte. Forte, 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 forte. Piano. From the downbeat piano.
Oh. I'm starting.
Oh, okay. Forte. Piano. Change the harmony. practicing purposes, this is a very good stopping point or starting point, if you wish, for the next section. Now, I need to hear, how about from here, one more time. So we have two distinct sections coming up. So in this one, we have the downbeat displacement. Here we have the chordal playing. You have to do the dynamics where they're written. And you need to play this one in a voice-led way. Never underplay the downbeats, especially if they have, you know.
So whenever the dynamics are written, are they subto, like subto piano?
Yes, yes, they're supposed to be in this music. Yes. Terced dynamics. Do you know about terced dynamics? Just by the term itself, does that bring terces into mind? Different levels.
Not really, but again.
Well, but now I hope that does, right? Okay. So like terraces on different floors, yeah. Oh, okay. And you don't need ramps connecting them. In this case, it's just loud and soft. And this is very typical for Baroque music to have this sort of loud and soft. Two things. This is not in tune. I think that the problem starts from the C sharp. It's not high enough. That makes better sense. Now you shouldn't underplay this downbeat. You need to linger on it, and then there's the phrasing. Yes. Yes. Now bass. Now forte. Piano. So this is an end of a section and also beginning of the section. So you can actually really sit on that C sharp, because we have tonicized, we have modulated to C sharp minor at this point, right? It's going to be one big section that. Now. And what is our dynamic level here for this? Okay, so let's keep that going. Okay, now can you fix the intonation and all of this? Now, if a key like this, because C sharp minor has how many sharps in it?
5. I think.
Yeah, it's still
minor, relative minor
to E. Yes, it's still a lot of sharps, and things like this we don't play an awful lot on the violin, right? So how about you play C sharp minor scale in 2 octaves in third position, just as simple as you can and as in tune as you can. Minor. Baseline, right? These are our parameters. Now, da, 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 da. Let's do it. Okay, isn't that much easier? Much better. Could you have figured out that this was a C sharp minor scale on your own?
Maybe. If I really like.
Well, you need to think about those things, which is back to what we were talking about earlier, that you have to be aware of the harmonic changes that happen. And if you are, you will instantly know, oh, it's C sharp minor here. So let's start that one more time. Let's add better tone to it. Let's make sure that the ring tones, the A's, are really, really in tune, because that will help our intonation. Then we move on. Don't start suddenly playing faster. I'm going to circle it because that's a reminder here.
Yes.
And actually, you know what? I made a little mistake here, but I'm going to make it even more. I want you to really love that note. Okay? All right. So let's start from the first one. At this point, does that remind you of something?
Sort of like.
Yeah, so this is like a recap. This is a recap place because yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Recapitulation, yeah. And from here, things are in a different key, right? But then that what happens in the last portion of the preludio. Basically, he makes his way back to E major, so he can finish the piece. But this is a very common Baroque trick. In what key are we playing this? How is it different?
It's just C major.
Is it C major? C major?
C sharp.
Is it?
What?
Play the scale.
A major.
Yes, it's A major. And now, what was our original key?
E major.
So how far are we from E major? Fifth down or fourth going up. So we have gone to the subdominant key on this. Okay. A is the subdominant of E major. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you know what it means?
I don't know what a subdominant is.
Now, do you know what the dominant is?
Yeah.
What is the dominant? No, the dominant is the fifth scale degree. That's scale. And the subdominant is the one under the dominant.
Oh, so if you're in a key and this dominant is the fifth.
And the subdominant is the fourth scale degree. So basically we have modulated to the subdominant key of E major. In Baroque music, this happens a lot because all he has to do is basically write verbatim what he has done in E major. He can do it in A major, and then this is going to, with a little transition at the end, he's going to end back into E major. Now, how is this different from, let's say, what happens in a classical concerto? What is the key to which we usually we modulate in a classical piece of music or romantic piece of music? In a Mozart concerto or let's say Brahms concerto? Yeah, you usually if it's in a minor key, you modulate to a major key for the. But if it's a major, it usually modulates to the dominant key. So it usually goes 1, 5, 1. And in Baroque, things are different. When you have the contrasting key, very often it's going to be the subdominant. It's just a shortcut for them to finish the piece. That's
So when you put these,
yeah.
When you put these lines here, do you want me to like use?
Well, just show that this is the motif. Because you know how it starts. It's off the beat. It's off the downbeat, right? So that's why these lines are here, because they're just a little element inside the fabric that tells us, oh, we're back. It's the start motif, the head motif. So can we maybe do the bar before that? Piano, just as piano. So try to maintain a really good sound. Now, Ella, part of what I'm seeing for this piano thing is that you're going at this angle with the string, which usually makes the sound harsh and sick. So for this lightness, just let the bow kind of hang from the fingertips instead of, yes, but just make sure that you're using enough horizontal motion to trigger the string to ring. It has to ring, 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 ring. Because at this point the strings are super short and don't rush, so still feel the D string because that's your home. More, don't rush. So that's a half position. Da, 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 da. You should be yes. So this first finger, it stays. So this is just a low 4 for this, right? Careful. It's too high. Do G sharp B. Yes. Right. G sharp. E sharp. Oh, it's with the third finger, so go to half position. The G sharp will be the same finger. Half position. Now F sharp. G sharp again. B. B. Então, para o dedo cheio. G sharp. B. B. Open E. So whenever possible, use open strings because we need the sonority, the brightness. That's right. D sharp. That's right. Open E, and now A sharp. D sharp. A natural. A sharp. Sorry, A open. Okay, now for this one, do. natural? First finger, try that in second position. So get the A in tune, and then there's D sharp. So yes, that's your chord. That's right. Now retake big bass from above. The trio is from above. Yes, but double stop. So keep the extension of the hand there. No. So starting from here. So the one extended note that's out of position is the A. The rest. Yeah, and you don't have to keep the first finger there. With the fourth finger, it's safer for intonation. Right. Not so scary to read, is it? So, metronome work, speeding up work, and because it's going to be 3 weeks when I see you, so that's a lot of time. So you've got to
do this third page and this second
all of
page.
it. Yes, yeah. you need to do all of it. And now I also want you to get started on the Paganini.
Yeah, I've sort of done a little bit. Meaning, do you want me to do all the second movements too and the third on the this?
The Bach? Well, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Now I want you also to get started on Vitaly Chacon.
Okay.
Okay.
It's very pretty. I sort
yes.
of worked a little bit on the runs a little bit. On the first page, the faster thing.
Okay. They're not really runs.
They're not. They're
what do you call that? That's frequent string crossing that we have there. We have the same.
Barilage.
Oh, it is. It is a type of barilage. This, yeah.
So many types of barilage.
Oh yeah. If you look at Bach's compositions, they're not two barilage passages that are the same. It's amazing how incredibly rich and interesting they are. So I want you to start working on the moto perpetuo as well. You said you looked at it?
I looked at it the first until A a little bit, not really.
Okay, can I hear that?
I'm not really good at it, and it's really slow. But
would you like to work on it for until next time?
probably, but I can play the first line.
Okay.
If you want.
Now, Ella,
Yeah.
please let's not do those sudden siren dynamics in this. It has to be simple. It has to be coherent. What you're doing. Ring, 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 ring. Ideally, this is going to be quite fast, allegro vivace. It's not presto, but just on the slow side what I'm singing here. So ideally, it has to be fast because we have to work on the bow stroke and the coordination. Yes, that's when the stick bounces, but the hair doesn't. Yes, that's the one. So it's. So it's going to be that kind of work in this.
Yeah.
So it will take a lot of speeding up, it's the notes themselves. They not very difficult.
It's sort of
First,
just like going up and down and
yeah, right. But you have to know the patterns, and you just have to work it up to a point when you can play. This is like a Paganini Fifth Caprice Light. Do you know the one I'm talking about? That one. Yeah, so this is the really easy version of that, and it's so much more fun to do this one than Paganini 5. So work on it, and Vitaly Chacon can become also one of your...
it's really pretty.
It is very beautiful piece. You need to get the markings though.
Like,
well, yeah, it's 3 weeks we're talking about. And you know how to read music, so take the challenge.
Oh, octaves.
Ooh.
Yay.
Double stops, lots of them.
Yay.
Yes.
Except when I was reading it a little bit, I didn't notice that it was in 3/2 time, so I kind of played it in 4/4.
But how could you do 6 beats as 4 beats?
I don't know.
So you can actually count it in 6. Do you know what the final count will have to be? How many beats do we have in the measure?
3, but there's
right.
You can count 6.
So if you do subdivided, yes, it will be 6. So that's why I'm a little bit confused, because you can either do...
I don't know. I was thinking the quarter notes were 1 beat. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay. So you were counting in 6.
Yeah, I was counting in 6.
Yeah, counting in 6 for starters is good, because you will really understand the rhythmic proportions in it. Ideally, though, you have to feel it in 3.
Okay. Well, let me try.
Okay.
Well, thank you.